No way. No way.
Oh, this is Candyland.
Are you kidding me? I don't even know what to say.
Wow.
This is like, have you ever seen me speechless?
No, actually I haven't.
I know, I've never seen you speechless, and I think you're pretty speechless. Oh my God, this is the best job in the world.
Well, we might as well sign in. Hi folks, Nathan Adlin and
Emmy Hall here at TFL Car. We're at the Cussler Museum outside of Boulder, Colorado, and wow.
my God. We're in Arvada, Colorado, in a place that you wouldn't even recognize to be a museum, and we're just freaking out about the fact that, what do they have, like 70 cars on display?
70 cars out of 120 in the collection.
Now, for those of you who don't know, let's let you in on a little secret. This is all Clive Cussler's. If you don't know who he is, he's one of the more famous American authors out there for adventure books. Mm-hmm. And if you've heard of, recently a movie, Sahara.
Yes.
And then there were books like Iceberg, Vixen 03, Night Probe, Inca Gold. Those are just the ones I've read.
So how did Mr. Cussler get started collecting all these cars?
You know, he started when he was a little kid. He grew up in California, and he grew up during the Depression. And his dad would take him to town once a month and for a dinner and a movie. And he said he remembers going outside, and he would go out and sit on the curb. And he said this big car would just come up and go by. And he said it would catch his eye, and it just amazed him that the design of the car and stuff and the size of it was so big that, you know, that just, it was something that stuck with him for a long time. And he always had a passion for cars, especially classic cars.
And so what was the first car in the collection here?
The first car of the collection was actually a 1946 Ford Coupe that he purchased from a farmer. And the way he went about getting this car was he and his wife were traveling. And they came across, they were out in the country, and they came across this farm that had this 46 Ford sitting on the property. And his wife looked over and said, "Oh, look, Clive, there's a 46 Ford just like the one I had in college." And Clive goes, "Oh, really?" He goes, "Well, let's stop and see if he would be interested in selling it." So he stopped and talked with the farmer and made a deal with him and had the car hauled home. And he and his son Dirk then worked on the car out in front of the house, out on the curb, restoring it for a period of time, and did most of the work themselves. So that became the first car of the collection.
And I'm standing in front of something very special, and it's a personal thing for me. This is a Cadillac V16 from 1930. .452 cubic inch V16 under that hood. Puts out 185 horsepower. These were torque monsters. I don't have the exact numbers, but what I do know is that this has a special lineage in the automotive world because it was designed by the legendary Harley Earl. This is one of the most elegant cars on the road at the time for $7,000. Now we're talking 1930, so add a couple zeros in terms of value, or even more. I would imagine somewhere around here Jay Leno is creeping around on his belly trying to figure out a way to grab the car and take it away when my back is turned. It's just beautiful, isn't it? And you guys sometimes ask about what we like. I mean, do you blame me?
So was that before he became famous as an author?
Yes, you know, this was a period of time when he didn't have a lot of money. He was working for advertising firms at that time and was just making a normal living just like everybody else. But was able to get the car and put the interest in, which it caught him and Dirk, you know, to put them in a position to where they really became more aware of classic cars and would actually take this car to shows and stuff and show it. And then the rest came later.
How do you find these cars? I mean, where do they come from?
You know, finding the cars is is done in many different ways. One of the big ways is at auctions. We go to a lot of the auctions around the country. We get brochures on the auctions and we know what's coming up. He's very selective about what he collects, but we will go to the auctions, and if a car looks like it's a candidate for the museum, then we're definitely in there, and we're going to bid on it to get it. We have also bought cars through private collectors. Some private collectors, they get cars and end up with collections, and sometimes they end up with so many that they have to start eliminating. So they put cars up for sale, and we bought cars that way through them. And we've even found cars through just private individuals that have come to us and said, my grandma had this car, and it's supposed to be a real desirable collectible car. Would you like to take a look at it? And that is something that we always pursue. Anytime we get a lead on a car, we hardly ever back down. We have to check it out first to know for ourselves.
Folks, I have here the Cussler Museum brochure. So here's a few things you should know about this museum. Adults are $7. Seniors, like Roman, $5. Children under 12, $3. And it's open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
But only on Mondays and Tuesdays, and only May through September. So this is a limited engagement, y'all. You can go to the website at cusslermuseum.com. If you're driving through Colorado, or if you live here in Colorado, come on down and check it out. It's really, really amazing. You can see cars like this 1929 Glower Bentley.
That's right, folks. For those of you who don't know, this is very similar to the race cars that competed in Le Mans, and it is... What's cool is that you can get so close to these things. I mean, granted, we have a little bit better access, but it's not like a museum where they make you stand 20 feet away from the car. And the cars in here are some of the most amazing that I've ever seen, and most of these are runners.
And what kind of condition do the cars come? Are they sometimes like pristine? Sometimes you got to put a lot of work into them. How does that work?
Yeah, as far as the cars and restoration-wise, we get them in all different situations. We've had some cars that were basket case cars, where he maybe did a deal where he was really interested in the car, and the car had been torn down, and they hadn't really been able to get it back together and stuff. So we would look the car over to make sure the parts were all there and stuff, and then purchase the car, and then we would start from the ground up. And then when we also, he has bought cars from auction, and cars that are very nice, but he didn't like the color of the car. So then we would tear the car down and paint it the color that he liked. So.
For the Fast Lane Car and for Fast Lane Classic, this is Nathan Adlin.
And it's Emmy Hall.
Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, and reviews.
Thanks for watching.